الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. To proceed, in today's lesson بإذن الله تعالى we will speak about the next subject, which is الفعل المضارع. الفعل المضارع. والفعل المضارع relates to the present tense. So we have already spoken about al-fi'l al-madi before. Al-fi'l al-madi is the past tense. And we know that with the past tense, to form the different conjugations, such as kataba is he wrote, in order to say she wrote, or I wrote, or you wrote, or any of the other conjugations, we change the ending. So it becomes katabtu. Katabtu is I wrote. So the al-fi'l al-madi, the past tense, is simple, and the reason being is because we change the ending. Right? Now, al-fi'l al-mudari'u is slightly different in that it's not the ending alone that we change. So it's slightly more difficult because we change the beginning and, or rather either the beginning and the ending. So for example, kataba is he wrote. That's the past tense. It's connected with an action that took place in the past and now is complete. Al-mudari'u, the present, is connected with an action which is taking place now. So in order to represent he wrote from kataba, he is writing from kataba, he wrote, we add the ya, we place a fatha on it. The first letter of the verb, this is considered to be the first letter, that takes a sukoon. The second letter, the ta, takes a dhamma, and the third letter, the ba, takes a dhamma too. Now, yaktubu, he is writing, or he writes. The difference between al-fi'l al-madi, the past tense, and al-mudari'u, the present, is that with the past, it always changes in the same way. So to represent I wrote, it's katabtu. I wrote is qara'tu. I looked is nadartu. It always changes in the same way. In the where you place the harakat on the letters. But with the present tense, it's slightly different. So here, with the standard 3-letter verb, such as kataba, the first form, the ya, which represents he, always takes a fatha. Yaktub. The first letter of the actual verb, because this is considered to be the first letter, not the ya. The first letter always takes a sukoon, so that's standard with all of them. But it's the second letter which can either be a dhamma, a fatha, or a kasra, and we'll illustrate by way of example. The third letter always takes a dhamma. So these two letters are always going to be the same. This one is always going to be majzoom with the sukoon, this one's always going to be madmumun with the dhamma, but it's the middle letter which changes. So for example, fa'ala, fa'ala is he He did. So if we want to say he is doing, right? He is doing, present tense, then how do we say that, Muhammad?
يفعل.
Right. Yaf. This one takes a sukoon. Yaf. Alu. Yaf'alu. Right, now how did you know that the middle letter would take a fatha? We know that the first letter will take a sukoon, and we know that the third letter will take a dhamma because that's standard, that's constant. But how did you know the middle letter will take a fatha?
Sounded.
Right. Because one of the rules with regards to correct pronunciation in Arabic is that they say it's not laysa thaqilan ala lisan, it's not difficult upon the tongue. If when you're pronouncing a word it's difficult upon the tongue, then and you have an understanding of Arabic, then in most instances your pronunciation will be incorrect. So yaf'alu, it sounds more pleasant in pronunciation than yaf'ulu or yaf'ilu, right? But the point to note is that the middle letter is now with a fatha. So the third possibility is that the middle letter will take a kasra. So if we take jalasa, which means he sat, and we want to say he is sitting, present tense, and how do we say it here, Muhammad?
Yajlisu.
Right. Yajlisu. Right? Yajlisu. So we know that it's going to begin with a ya, with a fatha. We know that the first letter is going to have a sukoon. The third letter, of course, is going to have a dhamma, but the middle letter takes a kasra. How did you know the pronunciation was yajlisu?
Yajlasa is yajlasu is ajib, and yajlusu.
Right, because yajlusu and yajlasu, so yajlusu and yajlasu sound strange, whereas yajlisu,
it rolls off.
that's right. Okay, there's no difficulty in pronunciation, so it's correct. Now, the other point to note is sometimes you don't know, right? You can have two that seem to sound okay, such as saraqa. Saraqa, it means he stole. So if we want to say he is stealing, or he's stealing present tense, how do we say this? Well, it's going to begin with
Yasruku.
right. Yes. We know this is going to take a sukoon. Yes. This one is going to take a dhamma. But what do we say about the middle letter? Is it yes raqu, yes ruqu, or yes riqu?
Yasruku.
Right, wrong ya Muhammad. It's not yes ruqu, it's yes riqu. Now the way that I always remember this is the ayah in Surah Yusuf, in which Allah Azza wa Jalla said, in yasriq faqad saraqa akhun lahu min qabl. Meaning that if he stole, in yasriq faqad saraqa akhun lahu min qabl, then indeed he had a brother who stole before him. That was a statement of one of the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam. But I know now that the way that the middle letters pronounced is with the kasra because of the ayah. But you pronounced it yasruku, right? Now the point to note here is that if you pronounce it then it's not such a great mistake, or rather it's less of a mistake than for you to pronounce, for you to change the ending of a present tense. You say yasriqi at the end, or another type of mistaken grammar, a more obvious one, where you don't make an ismun majrurun when it follows a harfu jar, right? Or you don't make the maf'ul bihi mansubun, or something like that. You don't make the fa'ilun marfu'un. Those mistakes are fundamental mistakes in grammar, whereas this is a mistake in pronunciation. Right? So it's less serious. Plus, when you're learning, you have to listen to somebody who knows how to pronounce it and remember how they pronounced it. Or when you read it, particularly in Al-Quran, and it's in the present tense, you have to remember it and then copy it. Because some people, students, they become concerned because they say, well, how do we know? How do we know what the middle letter is going to be? And the answer to that is that actually you don't know until you hear somebody pronounce it correctly, or you read it and it's vowelized correctly. But before that, you don't know. It could be one of the three, right? But as we mentioned, in most instances, it's because it sounds correct. Yaktubu, yaf'alu, yajlisu. The other one that Akhlaq likes, daraba. How do we pronounce? Daraba means he hit. How do we say he's hitting?
Yad
ribu. He is hitting, right? So note that the kasra is on the ra. Right. So what we're going to do is quickly mention the most common conjugations of kataba. We'll mention the most common conjugations. So we know that he is writing is, yeah, Muhammad, he is writing is?
Writing is kataba, so yaktubu.
Right. Yaktubu, he is writing. Right? So we've just placed a ya at the front. We've changed that to a sukoon, the middle letter to a dhamma, and the third letter to a dhamma. So that's he's writing. She is writing is? Taktubu. Good. Right. Taktubu. She is writing. So taktubu is the same as yaktubu, except that now that is a ta. Right? She is writing. Then I am writing is?
Aktubu.
Tubu. I am. Right? Aktubu, I am. Then you are writing single male is?
Taktubu.
Good. Taktubu. You. Oh. Right, so taktubu here, you are writing single male, is the same as what? It's the same as she is writing. So it's one less to remember, because you single male are writing is the same as saying she is writing. Both of them are taktubu. Right, then you single female are writing is?
Taktubina.
Right. Taktubina. You are single female. Taktubina, you are writing single female. This one's slightly more complicated because of the in sound. Right, taktubina, only slightly. You just have to remember the in. So if you wanted to say you are one of the ones you are doing, how would we say that?
Taf'alina.
Right, good. Taf'alina. Right, then we have the plurals. So we are is
Naktulu.
right. Naktubu, we are writing. Right, and then we have the other plurals. They, plural male, are writing.
Yaktubuna.
Right, yaktubuna, yaktubuna. So here we have an example of one where we said, remember, it can be either the beginning that changes, such as we've seen in these examples, and the beginning and the end, such as taktubina and yaktabuna. So what did we do? We added the ya to the beginning, yak. We make this into a sukoon, turn this into a dhamma as normal, this one into a dhamma, yaktubu, and added the una sound here, yaktubuna, right, yaktubuna. So that's they are writing, plural male, right? And then we have they are writing, plural female.
Yaktubna.
Yaktubna. Yeah, yaktubna. So yaktubna, they are writing. They are plural female. So that is the same almost as they are writing plural male, except that we change the ba to have a sukoon and we drop the waw and it becomes yaktubna. Yaktubna. Right? And then you, plural male, are writing is taktubuna. You, and then that's plural male. Taktubuna. So that's the same as taktubu, except that we've added the una sound, taktabuna. And you, plural female, writing is
taktubna.
right, taktubna. Taktubna. You, plural female, taktubna. So the only other ones are the dual, but we'll do them in a later lesson because they're less common. So these are the ones that are the most common and need to be learned. And inshallah ta'ala, they're not really that difficult. Once, as I always say, you learn a set of conjugations for one particular verb. So pick your favorite verb and then learn the conjugations and apply the same rule to the others, bearing in mind that the middle letter may be different depending upon what type of verb it is. Right? So, the next part of al-fi'l al-mudari' is to include it in a normal sentence. And in that sense, it is exactly the same as al-fi'l al-madi when we included it in al-jumlatul fi'liyatu. Why are we talking about al-jumlatul fi'liyatu? Because this is a fi'lun. And the fi'lun is most appropriately used in al-jumlatul fi'liyah. So we know that there are three parts of al-jumlatul fi'liyah. Two of them are mandatory, are required. Those two are, Ya Muhammad,
Fa'ilun.
well, the fi'lun and then the
Fa'ilun.
fa'ilun. So if we want to say, for example, Muhammad is writing the letter, how are we going to express that sentence?
Is Muhammad third person?
Sorry?
When we talk about Muhammad, is he third person?
Yeah, Muhammad is writing a letter, third person.
Yaktubu
Yaktubu
Muhammadun.
Yaktubu Muhammadun.
And I don't know what letter is.
Well, we know that a letter is risalatun. A letter is risalatun. So the letter becomes yaktubu Muhammadun.
Al-Risalata.
Right. Al-risalata. Al-risalata. Yaktubu Muhammadun al-risalata. Yaktubu Muhammadun al-risalata. Right? So we know that al-jumlatul fi'liyatu tabda'u bil, it begins with al-fi'lu, which is yaktubu. Then we have what follows?
Fa'il.
The fa'ilun, and the fa'ilun is always
Marfoon.
marfu'un. And the indicator that it's marfu'un is
Is the ish.
the dhammah.
The Dhamma.
Right, the dhammatun at the end. And in this instance, it's going to be tanweenu dhammin because Muhammadun is a real name. You're not going to say the Muhammad. So it's going to take tanweenu dhammin. Then al-risalata is going to be mansubun, and the reason why it's going to be mansubun is because it's the
Maf'ul bihi.
maf'ulun bihi, and the maf'ulun bihi is always mansubun, and the indicator that it is mansubun is the fath at the end. Good. So if yaktubu Muhammadun al-risalata, note that because Muhammadun is single male, or rather because Muhammadun is male, therefore we have to say yaktubu, he is writing. Right? What if we want to say Maryam, i.e. a single female, Maryam, she is writing the letter. No, she is writing the essay. How would we begin this?
So you would begin with taktubu.
Good. We begin with taktubu.
Maryam Yun.
Right.
Maryam Yun. It's not Arabic.
Maryamu. It's Maryamu.
Maryam and
Taktubu Maryamu.
essay.
An essay is maqalatun. Maqalatun. So how we're going to say Maryam is writing the essay?
Al-Maqala ta.
Right. Taktubu Maryamu
Al-Maqala ta.
al-maqalata. Taktubu Maryamu al-maqalata. Maryam is writing the essay. Right? Right. So why did we have to say taktubu when we're using Maryamu and yaktubu when we are using Muhammadun?
It's for the same. It's the right gender word.
Right. Because the fa'ilun has to match the fi'lun in gender. right? It has to match the fi'lun in gender. So because Maryam was single female, or because it's female, then the fi'lun has to be she, taktubu. Right? So one of the rules, as we know, of al-jumlatul fi'liyah is that the fa'ilun must match the fi'lun in gender. Right? But when we begin the al-jumlatu, the sentence with the fi'lun, and it's the third person, he or she or they, then it's always going to be the single verb that you use. Meaning, here now, if we want to say the students are writing the letter, the students,
يكتبوا.
okay, then how do we begin?
يكتبوا.
Yaktubu. Even though our doer is the students, and how do we say the students?
طلاب.
At-tullabu. At-tullabu, right? Yaktubu at-tullabu ar-risalata. Right? Yaktubu at-tullabu ar-risalata. So now our fa'ilun is at-tullabu. At-tullabu means the students, which is plural, male plural. But our fi'lun is singular male. Right? Similarly, if we say the students are writing the essay, but we're referring to female students, then how do we begin our sentence?
تكتبوا.
تكتب
الطلاب.
تكتب الطالبات.
الطالبات. Do you write the essay?
Yeah. الطالبات.
المقالات.
Right. المقالة. تكتب الطالبات المقالة. Right, did I say المقالة there? Right. تكتب الطالبات المقالة. Same principle. الطالبات is plural, female, the students.
Is that only when it's third person?
Yes, only when it's third person.
So even if it's dual third person, you would use the singular form. Second person, sorry. Like if you talk about two people.
Yeah, but if it's third person, whether it's singular, dual or plural, if it's third person, use the singular verb. So if that was two students, you would still use the singular third person, whether it's male or female. Right? So all of these are third person. Right? In this instance, it's singular. In this instance, it's plural. Right? But if we are now, for example, addressing a group of males, so this is now second person, right? We are addressing a group of males. How would we then say it? You are writing the book.
تكتبون.
Right? Then you would say تكتبون.
You're writing the book, did you say?
Yeah.
الكتاب.
Right. الكتاب. تكتبون الكتاب. Right? And similarly, if you're speaking to a group of females and are saying you are writing the book, or how would we say it?
The book.
You, plural, female, are writing the book.
تكتب.
تكتبنا.
تكتبنا. تكتبنا الكتاب.
Right, good. تكتبنا. تكتبنا الكتاب. Okay. Now, it's good practice, particularly when you're a learner, to mention the damirun munfasilun that's connected to it. Yeah, the detached pronouns. In this instance, it would be tunna. Antunna taktubna al-kitaba. And before that, it was antum. Antum taktubuna al-kitaba.
I don't know the hidden pronouns.
No, they're not. It's not hidden. Antum is the male version of antunna. You, plural male, antum. Remember, we did this. Antum taktubuna al-kitaba for male. Right?